What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We're going to get started here soon. In the meantime, say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm super excited to welcome you here today. Before we get started and get into the really for real live, this is obviously a pre-recorded video where I can tell you a couple things and then we can get started. So honestly, what I'm doing is buying myself time to turn the camera on and make sure that everything sounds good. But while we do that, while we wait for myself, let's go ahead and comment below. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Maybe let's start with your name and where you're watching from. And then also I'd love to hear about maybe the latest project you're working on or your favorite software. So if you can post a link below, go ahead and post a link to your portfolio. We'd love to check it out and see what you're up to. And maybe even let us know what your favorite software is or maybe your favorite subject. Do you like web design or print design or making t-shirts or logos or branding? I don't know. Go ahead and comment below and let us know. We'd love to check it out. And then also, if you'd love to see what I'm up to, you can check out my work at derrickmitchell.com. You can see some YouTube videos at youtube.com/derrickmitchell. And then also live streaming at behance.net/Mitchell's Garage. So you can check me out there. And then did I say Instagram? I don't know if I said Instagram yet or not. Instagram.com/dmitchelldesign. So hopefully there's links and buttons and stuff here. Right there. Anyway, all right, guys, we're about to dive into some really cool stuff. Feel free to comment in the thread, and I'd love to, again, see what you're up to, and I'll try and answer your questions as we get going, but let's go ahead and dive in. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more. Check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. One last thing I was going to mention too, because I don't know how much time I'm going to need to turn all this on. Maybe it's ready to go and, you know, the real me, the live me can just cut this off and we can get to it. But in case I need a little bit more time, let me just tell you about myself. So my name is Derrick Mitchell. We've been over that. Also, I live in Montana, in Kalispell, Montana, actually, which is just outside of Glacier National Park. And I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and we have tons of fun doing outdoor things like riding bicycles. We float the river on our paddle boards. That's a ton of fun. I love to downhill mountain bike. That's a ton of fun. When it snows for like 9 months out of the year, we like to go snowboarding and skiing. So I feel like I'm rambling. So at any point, Derrick, just go ahead and just, you know, let's do this. Let's get live. Let's start teaching. What is going on, Miles? My dog just came to say hello. Hi, Miles. Let's say hello to the people. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. This is Miles, my poodle. We're working on his mohawk. Oh, thanks. Kisses. Oh. What's up, Mohammed? Welcome to the stream. All right, we're almost ready. Today's video is sponsored by the Graphic Design Bootcamp. If you're looking at becoming a graphic designer and you want to learn more about Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, creating real-world projects that clients would actually pay you for things like logos, business cards, letterhead, and much more, check out the link below for more information and a deep discount to get started today. I just interrupted myself. That was crazy. Hey guys, what's going on? We're almost ready to go live. Almost ready. My dog wouldn't stop barking, so I had to go grab her real quick. I am good, Mohammed. Thank you. How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. I see you over on Facebook, tuning in, which just reminds me that I don't have my comments from Behance pulled up. Let's do that so I can see you all. I can't really see you. Do you know what I mean? So close. Here we go, guys. It's almost time. Did you know Helvetica was the first? It's too fast. I was going to read it and be all cool about it, but now I'm distracted. Too many things going on. Here, Mohammed. All right, let's do this. Let's go live. Let's do the things. All right, guys, welcome to the stream. It's good to be here. Glad you're here. It's gonna be a fun one. Also, I've got Daisy with me. She looks concerned. Say hi, Daisy. Say hi. Yeah, she was barking at everything. We were about to go live, and then you were just, yeah. Anyway, that's Daisy. All the things. What's up, Rob? How's life? How's all the things? Yo, what's up? Maryland, Montgomery County. I thought you said country, but I can't read good, apparently. What's up, Levon? All right, guys. So today what we're going to do, the plan is, we'll see what happens. Last time I went live, which was it only yesterday? Man, it's been a long 24 hours. We worked on some apparel stuff. Let me show you real quick what we were doing. Let me arrange some windows so we can see what's happening. All right. So this was the fun stuff we were playing with yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So we made this, and I'm going to post it on Behance. So if you're a subscriber, you can download the file for free. It's updatable. It's super cool. I wonder, top down, do you think she'll stay here without pushing buttons? This looks like a terrible idea. What do you think, Daisy? You gonna lay down? All right, enough of the dog. Come here, puppy. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we are going to, my life is surrounded with puppies and babies and kids, and I love it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I wanna post this sweater, this hoodie, sweatshirt, whatever you want to call it, onto my Behance profile so the subscribers can download it and can play with the file. So what this is a fully editable file where you can quickly change the colors of the hoodie, and you can quickly change the background color as well to whatever you want. Now, one thing that doesn't really change, at least the way it's designed right now, is we've got this gradient overlay, and it stays this purple eggplant maroon color at the bottom, which is all right. I mean, it's kind of cool. You could fix it. Oh, hey, quick tip. Let's just get right into it. Quick tip. Okay, so on this gradient layer, excuse me, if I turn off the background, you can see it's kind of a purple eggplant color to transparent. So what you could do, if I wanted to change this color right now, these are just pixels on this layer, and let's say I wanted to change this entire comp to be green or something. Let's just practice this. Let's just see what happens if we try and make it green. Okay, so that doesn't work right now. We're getting kind of a Suicide Squad vibe going, which I dig. It's pretty cool. Let's change the hoodie color as well. We'll come up here to the hue sat layer. Let's scrub this over towards green. We can maybe adjust the lightness of this thing, and you can see my logo goes away too. We got some stuff that's kind of breaking. So let's take a look at that real quick. And then we've got this gradient overlay. And if I wanted to change this to be a darker version of this green, let me get my eyedropper tool and click right on here. So my foreground color is now this green color. Make it a little bit darker. Okay, now if I tried to fill this gradient layer, I like to use the shortcut, which is Option and Delete. So on my keyboard, hold on the Option key and I hit the Delete key at the same time. And you didn't see it because you saw my keyboard, but it just fills this with green. But what happens is when I do that, Option Delete, it just fills the whole layer, which is not what I want to do. Command Z to undo. I just want to change these pixels down here. So what we're going to do, quick tip, getting right into it, up here in the layers window, if you don't see the layers panel, it's like open in every version of Photoshop. But if you don't see it, go to window, down to layers so you can see that. And what we're going to do across the bottom right here, or just below the layer blend modes here, we have this lock, and we have this little checkerboard looking thing. It says lock transparent pixels. There's a few other ones in here too you should check out, pretty cool, but click on this checkerboard one that says lock transparent pixels. What that does is if it's a transparent pixel, it will not let you fill it with any color or do any changes to it. But what's even cooler is it lets you affect those pixels at a alpha channel level. So if it's like, okay, at the bottom of this thing, see where it's darker, this darker purple? Okay, if I fill this with green, it's gonna go 100% that color. But as these pixels fade into 0 alpha from 100, which means fully opaque, fully colored, to like steps of 75, 50%, 0%, where there's no pixels, it's gonna fill it at that as well, if that makes sense. Let me show you. Gradient overlay right here. We see a little lock icon because we clicked on the transparency lock. I've got my color kind of a darker green than what the main background is. I'm gonna hit Option, Delete, or come up here to Edit, down to Fill, however you want to fill your colors. We're trying to fill with this dark foreground color, so change it from background to foreground. Click OK. Now, this is a very, very, very subtle change because this green is not much darker. Let's make it darker. Option Delete. And now you can see only the pixels that actually have like pixel data on this layer get changed. The transparent pixels get left alone instead of filling the entire layer. Reminder, if I undo this lock transparency thing and then I go Option Delete, it just fills the entire layer. We don't want to do that, right? So that's how that works. Super cool tip. The next thing is our logo went away. Why did it go away? Well, because up here we've got this classic surf logo, which is still there. The the eyeball is still on. But nothing's happening. There's a color overlay. If I turn that on and off, nothing's happening. What's going on? Well, okay, over here on the right, we see this little double square icon, and I wish I could zoom in. That's why I like recording tutorials, because I can do that zoom in stuff so you guys can really see what's going on. But anyway, there's this little icon. It's like two squares overlapping. If I click on that, or double click rather, and if it's not on a layer, you just click kind of in between, like beside the name. If you click on the name, it's going to try and rename the layer. We don't want to do that. Click right to the side, double click, and now we have the layer style. Okay, and this blending options. I'm trying to make it so you can see it, and my head's not in the way. All right, so the underlying layer, which is this hue and this hoodie. I'm just going to move this over here. I'll just hide my head. There we go. Sorry guys. So what's going on is the layer behind this, what Photoshop sees is this. It sees this darker gray charcoal hoodie. Okay. I'll turn these layers back on to change the color and then to bring the logo back. Double click to bring back that layer style. And what it's saying is if the underlying layer is dark, just reset all this. This is what the logo should look like. I just reset this. As I scrub left from the left dark black area on the underlying layer, it's going to say, let the darker pieces of this start to cut through into the design. Okay, so wherever the shadows are. Okay, and then from the right side, Daisy, no. That's why she was in here, so she wouldn't bark. There's Miles saying hi. Hold that thought. Oh my goodness. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab the dogs. Sorry. I'm back. I'm back. I'm almost back. Okay. Where's the headphones? Got them. Got the puppy again. I set her down, and then she saw people walking by the house. She had to defend the castle, didn't you? Yeah. Good job. Good job, Daisy. All right. Sorry for the interruption, guys. All right. So we were talking about layer styles and blending if the underlying layer is dark, and if it's light, as you scrub from right to left, the lighter tones from the underlying layer will start to cut through. Okay, but we could also do this, and you can't see it because my screen is the wrong screen. There we go. Try that again. Darker layers, lighter layers. Okay, so anything from the light side, from the lighter tones of the underlying layer will start to cut into the design. So what happened is we went from the purple to the green, and the green was a different tone. So because it was a little bit lighter, then the logo completely went away. That's what happened there. Okay, we can also hit the Option key and break these sliders apart to make it more of a subtle transition. Okay, kind of tough to see right now because we're zoomed out. Why is it not letting me split this? Oh, there we go. Anyway, click OK. I'll zoom in. Excuse me. And you can kind of see how the texture pops through the design now instead of just being stark white. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to undo this a bunch of times because I actually like the purple look better for what we're about to do. Hopefully I didn't go too many. Looks good. I'm going to save it. And now what I want to do is actually update my portfolio on Behance. So let me grab that real quick. I'm just pulling this up. All right. Quick reminder, today's broadcast is sponsored by my website, derrickmitchell.com. Check it out. I've got some courses there you guys can check out. The store is currently broken, unfortunately, so don't worry about that. But you can find some cool free tutorials if you'd like to see some more things that I've done that are a little more precise, a little less, dogs barking in the background and stuff. So you can check those out and learn more here at derrickmitchell.com. While you're there, be sure to join the newsletter. Name and email, and I'll send you some goodies. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to open up Behance.net. Go to my profile, and I'm going to share my work, build a project. All right, let's bring this back so you can see it now. All right, so what I want to do is I want to build, and it's been a long time since I've posted something. So I want to build like a project based around this hoodie with the files so you can download and then put it for my subscribers is the hope. That's what we're trying to do. So I genuinely don't even know where I want to begin. Let me think about this for a second. Let's what we're gonna do, I'm gonna add an image at the top. Oh, you know what else I could do? I could borrow ideas from Envato Elements, which I love, and Adobe Stock. Adobe.com. Okay. And maybe even the creative market. Okay. And let's search for apparel. This is basically an apparel mock-up. So I want to see how other people market their own apparel mock-ups. Just getting some ideas here. Okay, nice and simple. Something like that. That's cool. How's everybody doing? The chat's nice and quiet. Rob, you still around? How's things? It's Friday, right? It's Friday. Yeah. Had to look at it because honestly, it's been one of those weeks. This photo my wife just sent me literally sums this up for the week. That's so funny. So my daughter, they're driving to meet with a friend. Here, check this out. So my daughter is literally, she fell asleep. This is my 8-year-old. It's not focusing, but she fell asleep leaning on the car seat of her baby brother. Like that's how tired she is. That's the week. That basically sums up the entire week for us. It's been a lot. So anyway, hope you guys are doing good. Excited for the weekend. All right, so apparel mock-up. This is a little bit different. A little bit of a different vibe. I could do something like this. And if I see something that inspires me, I hold down the command key and I click to open it up in a new tab. On Adobe Stock, it doesn't work that way. I forgot. JavaScript and stuff. Okay. Excuse me, man. All right. So, Rob says, you bet, still fitting. I'm assuming you bet still here. Just finishing the section of the paper. Now scanning some old wedding negatives. Scanning is good. You could also take pictures on your phone, although that might be just as much work. But then you'd have them on your phone, and there's a way for it to auto crop and straighten. And then you'd have all the photos on your phone in like a folder or something too. Just throwing that out there. Might be a terrible idea. All right. We've got those different mock-ups. It's Saturday here. Mohammed, where are you at? Must be Saturday night for you, or maybe Saturday morning. Yeah. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, apparel mock-up. So graphic templates, see more. What I'm looking for, you guys, is just trying to see like how some of these people have laid some of this out. Oh gosh, and one of the best ways to probably do this, honestly, that I don't know why I didn't think about till like literally right now, is go to Behance. Behance is my favorite, you guys. Search for apparel. And let's see if we can find a cool mock-up. I just kind of want to see how people lay things out. I like to get an idea of ways to don't. Daisy just about fell off my lap here. All right. You guys can't see this, but she's just like standing here on my lap while I'm designing. This is my Yorkie, my puppy. Mohammed, it's Saturday in Maldives. Is it Maldives? Maldives? I should know this. I don't. I'm sorry. I love that with the internet, we can all hang out together at the same time across the world. That is the coolest thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. Let's just start making stuff and see what happens, okay? Oh, I know what I could look at. Did I post that project? I know something that's really inspiring to me. Okay, I got to jump into a couple things real quick to pull this up. Go to my files, go to my design files. Go to my top secret vault. See if I can find. Hopefully this is the one. Rob says we've got a really cool Epson XL. Was that a 10,000 scanner that works these things over pretty well? Nice high res. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. All right. I just found the file I was looking for. So let's jump into that real quick. So this is a project I did forever ago. I designed this logo for a company, Zero Dark. And I love the layout of how I did this. Super basic, but clean. And my favorite part about it is just how so like this background it's sitting on is like a military backpack looking thing with this button and just some cool textures, subtle drop shadows, just kind of showing off what the brand could be. Some mock-ups of a business card and a sign, the color swatches, maybe a cool vehicle for trade shows or something. I don't know. We're just kind of playing around. So, man, throat's tickling me today. So I really like this. I think I want to replicate this for what we're doing here. All right, this is what, 2000 pixels wide? This is literally perfect. Okay, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to hit Command Shift S to save a copy. And then let's go to my files. Let's go to my live streams. Let's make a new folder. Is today the 27th? Yes. No, I did that way wrong. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. The year, I do the year first, then the day. No. Then the month and the day. Wow, guys. I'm ready for the weekend. Did I do it again? Oh my gosh. Let me clean this up real quick. Sorry. Brain dead, apparently. Okay, the year. The month. The date. And the reason why I've been trying this for these live streams is because I want them to stack chronologically. And so the year will always be first. And then when we get into 2022, then they'll line up, right? The months will line up and then the dates will line up. That's my hope. That should work. It makes sense to my brain. Apparel mock-up, I guess we could call it. Let's throw this over here in my favorites so I don't have to keep looking for it when we're doing stuff. Boom. Okay, so let's throw it in there. So I'm going to come back here and hit Command-Shift-S. All right. Command-Shift-S. Save as. Let's call this apparel. Behance portfolio apparel mockup or something like that. I don't know. Let's just throw it in there and save it. Deal with it later. All right. So what I'm thinking. Okay, let's start deleting some of this stuff. I don't know if that's the best way. I should. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's grab this purple color, the gradient right above it, maybe even the outer glow. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate layers. And then from this window, I can choose where the destination of this is. So currently it would duplicate all of these if I clicked OK right inside of this same document. But if I click on this drop down, I can send it anywhere I want to any other document. So we've got this Behance portfolio apparel mockup file. So if I click on that, I can even tell it which artboard to go to. So right now, I'm pretty sure I only have one artboard, so it doesn't really matter. I'll click OK. So now those 3 layers have just been cloned over here to this file, which is cool because check it out. There they are. They're even highlighted over here. So I'm going to hit Command-T to get my free transform tool. I'm just going to start scaling these things into place. Daisy wants down really bad. Hey, puppy. Say hi to everybody. Say hello. Here I am. Okay, go play. All right. So we've got our purple background. Let's... Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life here. Okay. Let's experiment with changing the blend mode on this thing to multiply. Oh, we got 2 layers here. We group both of them. Nope. Why am I... Oh, it's because the link is broke. Adobe stock. All right, so let's fix that. Let's stock 14. Okay. Relink to file. Go search for it real quick. I maybe fixed it. It's thinking about it here. There we go. Okay, relinked. It was because it had been, I don't know if you guys use Dropbox, but it had been smart synced to where it wasn't on the computer anymore. Okay, so that's the button. This is the background. Let's change this to multiply, see what happens. Multiply. This rectangle needs to change colors. All right, let's change the blending mode on this guy. All right, that's kind of cool. All right, now I got to bring over the right hoodie. Although I really like the look of this guy right here in the middle. I'm going to save that drop shadow. Okay, let's just bring over the other stuff real quick. So we've got this guy. with the hue sat and the logo and stuff. So I'm going to group it together. Call it hoodie. Right click, duplicate group. I could also actually, because there's only this, it's just right over here, I could just click and drag. Change my, I'm on the move tool. I'm going to change this from auto select layer to group. So now if I click on this, it's going to grab the whole group and not just a piece of it. Drag and drop over to this tab, hold it till it pops up, and then come back over here. Wow, that is huge. Scale it down. All right, and what I was going to do was use this layer to right click and copy the layer style, which would be the drop shadow, this stuff right here. I'm gonna turn that off now. I'm gonna go find this hoodie, the actual hoodie, right click and paste layer style, which will paste that drop shadow, which I don't know if I like in this file. I'm just experimenting right now. Just getting it started here. Okay. Now what's going on here? We got a gradient overlay. Oh yeah, that's the gradient overlay thing. Chat is quiet tonight. Is it tonight? Is it tonight yet? It's almost tonight. I guess it's 6 o'clock where I'm at. So that counts as tonight. Hopefully everybody's out having fun, doing something cool. By that, I mean all the people who aren't here right now watching. It's all good. All right. So I've got that started. I like the colors thing. These are obviously the wrong colors. So let's... Dude, congratulations, Rob. Says got my hands on an iPad today. Can't wait to bust out some Fresco on the weekend. That's awesome. I'm stoked for you. Rob, I'm being honest. I specifically did not use the iPad today because, like, well, if Rob shows up, I know he doesn't have one yet. So, I've got it sitting right here. It's literally plugged in. It's right here, ready to go. I was gonna jump into it, but then I didn't. I was like, no, not going to do it. We're going to stay in Photoshop today. All right. I feel like I'm... So... I feel like I'm taking a while to warm up tonight. Usually, like, things start to kind of come and ideas start to get pretty clear pretty fast. For whatever reason, I guess it's the end of a long, long week for me, so... I guess we'll blame it on that. All right, so this rectangle needs a stroke on it because it's white. So let's go find that stroke effect here. Let's throw like a light gray, like just enough to kind of see something's happening there. 1 pixel. Let's position it on the inside so it lines up with the other shapes. Call it good. Excuse me. All right, we've got some colors going on, although that's kind of, I don't know. I feel like the white. All right, well, this truck doesn't make any sense anymore, so that needs to go away. This doesn't make any sense anymore, so that's got to go away. Oh, I know what I could bring over. Just had an idea, guys. I had an idea. I got to jump over into Illustrator. Grab these surfboards that I was playing around with, because that's where the surf brand company logo thing came from. Oh, this is going to be fun. This just got a lot more fun. Rob has an iPad now, so I can jump back into the iPad too if I want. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Okay, so what we're going to do... Ooh, which one do we want to go with? So many options. Let's do them all. All right. First of all, let's grab these whole things. Oh, I didn't finish... I got to finish this surfboard. Hit the letter M to get a rectangle, because I'm going to draw a shape from here to here. Just kind of loosely eyeballing this here. I'm going to use that shape to measure the distance over here. So now we're in Illustrator. We were in Photoshop. We kind of jumped over to Illustrator for a second. There we go. Now, so what's going on in this guy is I've got a mask. So this shape is masking all this nonsense behind it, all that stuff. So, right click, ungroup, right click, release clipping mask. You can also grab it over here in the transparency panel. Just kidding. All right, we're just gonna right click, release clipping mask. Okay, so you see this surfboard. I'm gonna delete this whole thing. Hit Command A, and I can see that I still have an empty shape there for the board. Let's color these fins. Why is that not sticking? What's going on? Shortcut's not working. What in the world? All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot of this and then paste it into here as an image, because I just want to sample this blue color, because for some reason, there we go, fixed it. All right, now let's grab this surfboard, drag a copy over. Nope. Is this not locked? It's not locked. Group it. Drag a copy over here. Make it a tiny bit bigger so the mask kind of works. Command Shift left bracket to throw it behind everything else. I've got the surfboard behind this empty shape layer. I gotta find my shape layer. All right, we'll drag this over here for a second. Let's grab this empty shape layer. Ooh, there's this guy. And I'm just going to give it, I don't know, some ridiculous color so we can see what's going on here. Click on the mask layer, shift click on this one below it, Command 7. Although if this was the side, you wouldn't see that text there. So we're going to kind of do this in two ways here. I'm gonna grab his logo, cut it, Command X to cut it. Shift click these two layers. Oh, you know what? Command F to paste this back. Now I need to copy this mask, Command C to copy it. That way I'll show you in a second. Shift click both of these, Command 7 to make a mask. Now Command F to paste that layer that I copied on top. Drag this back over here just a tiny bit though, okay? Shift click, Command 7, See, because if this were just on the side of it, that C, the back of that C just barely kind of comes over there. Right? That's what we're trying to do. That's awesome. I love this. Over on YouTube, Yvonne asks, literally just types question, if Photoshop exists, what's the point of Illustrator? So Photoshop is great at, like, I even said this on the last stream. I was like, if you get stranded on an island, bring Photoshop with you. That's the one thing you have to have. You can do anything with Photoshop, even video edit. But here's the biggest difference. Illustrator is vector based. So think of it like a mathematical equation. Point A to point B is, you know, say red, and then you just fill in the gap with those 2 points. It's a mathematical equation the way it works out. With Illustrator being vector, I can zoom into my artwork infinitely. Well, I don't know, like a lot. And look at it's pixel perfect. It does not get pixelated, right? Because it's vector. It's all points and shapes that you can manipulate and drag paths around. Okay, so you would use most of the time in the graphic design world, Illustrator. Okay, this is a huge general statement, so it's not true. If you're gonna make a logo, make it in Illustrator. So logos, branding typically starts in Illustrator. Okay, but look at it, like these surfboards that I made are all in Illustrator because I was having fun on my iPad. I actually started on the iPad with the Creative Cloud and then saved it to the cloud and then opened it in the desktop. So I round trip a lot. I bring artwork all over the place. So like these shapes and stuff I drew on my iPad and then brought them into the desktop version. So, and you can go both ways with it. For example, now that we've got this mocked up kind of the way I want it, I could maybe add a stroke to match the board, but I'm going to delete this shape. I'm going to grab, I've got the hiccups now. First I'm coughing, now I've got the hiccups. Okay, Command G to group this. So this is one group now. I'm gonna highlight all of these. Command G to group it. Highlight these, Command G to group. Highlight these guys, Command G, and the same. So in theory, if I just grab, yeah, it all stays together. Now I'm gonna grab the whole thing like this, Command C to copy it, and I'm gonna jump back into Photoshop and paste it in here. Now, when you're pasting in from Illustrator, you have these 4 options. Actually, you've got 5 options here. Check this. This 5th option is easy to overlook. So the first one is a smart object. If I do that, it's going to remember that it's an Illustrator file. And when you go to edit it, it'll bring it back into Illustrator so you can change anchor points and colors. If you do pixels, so I'll just say pixels right now and I paste it in here, it flattens it all out and it turns into a pixel layer. So see over here, layer 1, there's nothing special about it. And in Photoshop, again, if I zoom in, you see it starts to fall apart real fast. It turns into it gets pixelated, basically, right? Because this is, whereas Illustrator's a vector-based program, Photoshop is a raster or bitmap-based program. So instead of in Illustrator where it's like point to point, fill the color, Photoshop is like red, like every single pixel gets represented, right? Which is why Photoshop files are huge and Illustrator files are very, very small. All right, so what I'm noticing right away, my surfboard over here, the tip goes away because it's not stroked. So let's delete that anyway. Jump back into Illustrator real quick. Actually, no, I'm gonna show you a different way. So back in Photoshop, paste what's on my clipboard, and this time I'm gonna do it as a smart object, okay? I'm gonna click OK. And there's obviously some extra stuff going on because see how it's not cropped right next to it? And that's because back in Illustrator, these are masks, but all this extra, which one is it? There we go. When you drill into the mask, you see it's got all these extra shapes that are being hidden, and all of this came with it too, which is why the bounding handles are so much larger than the artwork. Okay, so 2 things. One thing I could do, this is already a smart object, which is difficult to see on the stream, but it looks like a piece of paper over the icon, over the thumbnail, and it tells me vector smart object. So now what I can do, not only can I scale this up as big as I want it to be, like I can go nuts with it because it's vector, and I can go as big as I want without it getting pixelated while I scale it, and I can then commit the transform, hit return, And you can see the artwork is perfect. Now, if I zoom in really far, because we're still inside of Photoshop, it still breaks because the actual file that we're building in is only so big, right? It still gets pixelated in here. But the artwork in here is vector because it came from Illustrator. So I can hit Command T to get my free transform, and I can just really go nuts with this thing. I can make it even bigger if I want to. I can scale this thing up as big as you want to go. Doesn't matter. Hit return, or click the little checkbox up here in the options bar. Get the beach ball of death. So what projects are you working on? No. Oh no. Got the beach ball of death because I made this scale too big. Oh no. I hope I don't crash the stream. Let me give it a second. You know what? We're going to cancel this. It usually doesn't behave like this. But because I'm live streaming also, and I haven't reset my computer in like... Are we still live on Behance? Did we just go down? Thanks for the thumbs up over on Behance. I think we're back. Okay. Playing with fire because I haven't reset my system in like a day and a half, which I make fun of my wife for doing that. Now I'm doing that. Okay. So we just pasted this as a vector smart object. Now what I can do, let's just take this a little bit at a time here instead of crashing my system. I went Adobe Live and the chop happened. Uh-oh. So what we're going to do, I'm going to double click on the little tiny thumbnail in this layer that inside the thumbnail, it's got a little image of like a piece of paper thing. I'm going to double click on that, and it knows it's a vector smart object. So it opens it up in Illustrator, but you'll notice up here in the top, it says vector smart object. And if I click on this other tab, this is the original artwork. So it just opened up that vector smart object separately. So if I make a change in here, let's just make an obvious one. Let's click on this white background and let's just change the color to something else. I don't like that as much. We'll do that. We'll just save that, and I'll click on this white spot here and we'll fill that as well. I'll save this. So I'm saving the smart object. It doesn't even ask me where to save it because it's actually embedded in that Photoshop file. So I can save it. I can close this, and you'll notice the vector smart object version has this dark surfboard now. If I go back to Illustrator, it's still white in the original document. So it doesn't mess up the original document. Jump back into Photoshop and it immediately updates and sees that the vector smart object has changed. Super cool stuff. Very, very, very powerful stuff. There's a lot of really cool things we can do with this. So I can't hit undo now. I opened up the smart object again, but because I closed it, there is no undo. So let's go back to the white because I liked that better on that spot here. We'll make that white. And then I'm going to stroke this shape. So I'm just going to get my direct selection tool, the letter A, just to grab this, just this part of it. And currently there is no fill or stroke. So I'm going to double click on the stroke, add a black stroke to it. It should work. It might not because it's the mask. Okay, so what we're going to do, double click into here. So now I can see up on the top, I don't know if you can see this. So it says layer 1 and then group. So I'm actually drilling down into the grouped items here. So I can grab just the shape, double click one more time. There we go. Now I can grab just the shape. Command C to copy it. Thanks for sticking around, Rob. I see that. Adobe Live is a little choppy. All right. So what did I do here? I'm jumping back out to the main object. Command F to paste in front. And going to try this. Okay, yeah, that worked out just fine. So I added a stroke. So basically I have this little shape sitting on top, which also has some garbage in here. What happened there? Is it still masking something? Oh, the logo was still off to the side. Trying to get it. Triple clicking all over the place. What's up, Mohammed? I see you posted a link, an Instagram link. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I will check that out. I actually deleted Instagram from my phone for like almost this entire year. It was just too distracting. And so, but recently, like literally a couple days ago, I reinstalled it, and their privacy policy changed, and I wasn't a fan of it. But like literally 2 days ago, I downloaded it again and put it on my phone because I had like client work I was trying to get images for, and I couldn't see them unless I downloaded the app. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I'll delete. I'm not really on it. It's just chilling in the background, but half the reason I deleted it was because of the way that they kind of creep on you. I don't like that. So, all right, there we go. We've got some strokes added to the rest of these boards. Let's save it. Jump back over into Photoshop. Those will be white again, and you can see the stroke. Perfect. Okay, cool. So now the next thing I want to do, I'm going to hit Command V again to paste a vector smart object. Oh, I've got the wrong one though. Jump back over here. Grab all these, Command C to copy. Interesting. All right, grab all these, Command C to copy, jump back into Photoshop, Command V to paste. This time, if I do path and I click OK, all of the paths get pasted in here. And you'll see in the paths layer, or in the paths tab, which is like the layers tab or layers window, the paths window, you can see the work path. If I click off of here, it goes away. If I click back on this layer, all of those paths come back. So they're not filled in. You can work with them. I could command click and create a massive selection if I wanted to and work with it in Photoshop that way. Command D to deselect. Click back on this path. And so you could bring in a logo as just a shape if you wanted to and work that way. All right, let's delete it by clicking on this layer and hitting the trash can in the path window. All right, Command V again, this time shape layer. I'll click OK. Let's see what it does with that. So this time, instead of it being a path inside of here and just a path, it actually fills that path with color. So essentially, this is a complex shape. It's actually a vector shape. So you could argue that you can actually work as a vector, like you could design logos inside of Photoshop. And in fact, I have a course that shows how to do that. I don't recommend it at all, but it's totally possible. If you're somebody who only knows Photoshop and you're trying to make a logo, you can do it. But definitely work in vectors only when you're designing. Okay. Next is, so this was a shape, and because it's a shape, I can easily grab the color swatch over here, change the color to something else, hit Option Delete to fill that, or I can just select colors over here, same thing, Option Delete to fill it with a different color. Okay, last but not least, Command V to paste a Illustrator thing in here. And this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it a smart object, but I'm also going to check this little checkbox down here that says Add to my current library. So if I jump over here to Libraries, step out for a minute, not all of my clients, but most of my clients, when I build stuff, I have to cancel this. There we go. I have all these libraries. So like, for example, my complete graphic design brand for my courses, I have the colors put in here. I have the character styles for the fonts. Apparently I have other brand logos that found their way in here from this very exercise where you accidentally save stuff in the wrong spot. That's neat, but I can clean it up if I wanted to. Oh my goodness. What happened? How that all got in there. So here's the artwork for like my thumbnails. If I drag and drop this out here from my library, you know, here's artwork that I could jump into any application. I could jump into Illustrator. This is in Photoshop right now. I can jump over to Illustrator and I could go find my libraries and I could do the exact same thing. Jump into libraries. It's going to load all my current libraries. So libraries are very, very powerful because then like when you make something new for a new client, or in this case, this third bowl stuff, like if I want to drag out their logo real quick, I could bring it in here, scale it up. I could work with their colors. and I could know that I've got the right color as I'm working through things. So it's a way to really quickly create and recreate art for clients. Okay, jumping back over into Photoshop. Let's delete that. What were we doing? Okay, so I want to jump back into let's throw it in here for now. All right, so this time I'm gonna hit Command V to paste these surfboards. I'm gonna make it a smart object, but I'm also going to add it to my current library. So whatever library is open over here, it should paste it here and also put it as a graphic inside of this library. So now it's in this, and I could jump over into Illustrator, go to my Derrick Mitchell library, and it's already right there. I could jump into my laptop. Nope, this is an iPad. See if it sees my face. There we go. All right, right now it's in Fresco. Let's jump over into Illustrator. Go back to my home, go back to the Your Work tab. Oh no, this is gonna be different. Okay, because it's different. I haven't done it this way yet. I might have to make a new document. Click create. Let's go ahead and switch the view here. And then I go to my photo tab thing on the left side, go to cloud documents, go to, I need my libraries. Oh, libraries might not be available yet on an iPad now that I think about it. Oh, there they are, libraries. Photo, down to libraries. It wasn't available for a while. Scroll down, find my Derrick Mitchell folder. There it is. There's the artwork. If I tap on it, why can't you place the file? Is it too complex? Apparently there's a few bugs to work out. I can place my signature though, can I? Maybe. Okay, no, see, it did both of them. So I'm not sure why. It's probably because I'm holding my iPad upside down. That's why. I'm sure that'll fix it if I probably do it. There we go. See, it just didn't like being upside down. That's all. All right. So anyway, the point of this exercise is to show you saving to libraries is super cool because you can open up any app and then anything you need is available as soon as you open up the next app. So really powerful stuff there. All right, let's keep going. I hope this is helping you guys. Sometimes I jump in here and I just kind of work and I don't really talk much. You can see what I'm working on. Sometimes I take forever to do anything because I'm kind of showing you the exact steps as I go along the way. All right, so that's placing a smart object. Actually, the reason why I went into so much detail was because Levon asked about wondering why Illustrator exists when Photoshop exists. Such a good question. All right. I love it. Levon says, working on a fashion brand of my own. Hate saying clothing line. Super cool. I love it. All right. So let's just we got to speed this up a little bit or I'm not going to get anything done. So I think and if you guys have a question, definitely ask, jump in here, but I'm going to start speeding this up. Okay. So when I hit Command T, you'll see that the bounding box goes way beyond the artwork. So what I can do is wrap this smart object inside of another smart object by right clicking and saying, convert to smart object. I'll click on that and it basically just nested it inside. So now if I hit Command T, the bounding box is right around the artwork. And now if I hit Command A, get the marching ants, I've got the move tool selected. So across the top, I can align it. I can click my align tools to align the artwork to the canvas. When I'm all done, select, deselect, or Command D. All right. And then if you want to edit it, same principle, but this time you got to double click on the smart object and it's going to open it up inside of Photoshop because it thinks it's a Photoshop smart object. And then inside of there, it's another smart object. It's like Inception. Great movie, by the way. Double click on there. Now it's editable. So much for me speeding things up because I'm still taking my sweet time and showing you guys everything I'm doing along the way. Oh well. Save a smart object in Illustrator. Jump back into Photoshop. Save the smart object here. Close that smart object. Now it's updated inside of this other document. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. But you can do some incredible stuff with it, such as, but not limited to, this is how you would build a mock-up that's editable. And I have a whole course about it on Skillshare. Super cool stuff. Yes, save. Okay. I'm getting tired. It's not even 7 yet. All right. Let's close this guy. Save it. Boom. All right. So now let's keep moving on. Let's keep pressing on. What are we going to do with this stuff? I don't even know. In my mind, I kind of saw... Let's open these guys back up. I made 1 million clipping masks when I made this design. Let's just grab all this garbage, copy it, jump into Photoshop, paste it, smart object. Oh, I don't want to add, I had the add to my library button checked, so it's going to add it over here. All right, let's keep going. Let's jump back into Illustrator. Let's grab this shape, this color, jump back into Photoshop. Don't add to my library. Click OK. Holy smokes. Precipitation maps. Dude, every time I talk to you, Rob, you're like doing something like super techie with the software. Last time it was like, I don't remember. It was like data points for business cards merging. I don't even remember. You were doing all kinds of crazy. I love it. Okay. I feel like I'm just barely getting warmed up. I want to do this. I don't really like these colors right now. Data merge in InDesign. Have you checked out grep? So, yeah, slick when it works, breaks, and sucks when it doesn't. Grep, check out Grep, GREP in InDesign. Super powerful stuff. If you like all this stuff you're doing right now, I'm sure you know about Grep. But if you don't, it'll change your world, man. All right, let's. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm just trying to bring in cool artwork. I want to post this to Behance. I want to say something like apparel downloads. Yeah, no, dude, Grep is cool stuff. All right, let's. Okay. I just need to kind of trance out a little bit, is what I call it. Or I also call it going into code mode. I tell my wife I'm coding. That way she knows when I'm like super focused. And I apologize, I'm not going to remember anything you just said to me. So make sure you have eye contact. Oh, shoot. So when oh man, bummer. So in the last sample, I gotta redo this. See how the drawstrings, or the whatever you call them, how they don't get cut out with the mask? That's because when I free transform this wasn't locked. So when you click between layers, it'll be locked. So when it scaled, it didn't also scale. See where these are? They're way the heck up here. So I basically either have to reselect them or unfortunately start over. So we'll delete those layers. Let's jump back into the surf hoodie. We've got the hoodie. I gotta lock this before I clone it. Right click, duplicate. We're gonna send it over to the Behance portfolio mockup thing. This time, because it's linked, and to even make sure, I could go one step further and create a smart object. So everything's mashed down into one layer. But I think this will be fine. Boom. They stayed that time. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Jump cut this up. Retransform it. All right. Command J to jump cut this, so there's 2 folders now. Let's drag this over here. Let's change this one's color. this point. Just turn off the hue and sat. There we go. Okay, that's cool. Cool-ish. I don't know, something like that. Let's group those. Center them. There we go. All right. Well, now. Behance looks like it's still struggling a little bit. All right. All right, man. Rob says got to jump off and go pick up your son. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much. You too. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your family. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me today. We'll see you later. All right. Next. Daisy, no. It's just my wife. Get her, Daisy, get her. So here's a cool tip. So I just made a drop shadow on this layer. And you can see when you do that, come down to effect and you add a drop shadow. No, Siri, I wasn't talking to you. I said you can see. I didn't say, hey Siri. That time I did though. Anyway, you can see when you add a layer style, it adds it to the layer, right? So if you come up here to layer in Photoshop, and we come down to, oh, it's been a minute since, oh, layer style. Okay, that's what we just added. We have the drop shadow selected. Down here, there's like this hidden feature that I didn't know about for years. If you click on create layer, what it's gonna do is take this layer style and turn it into its own layer. So watch over here what happens. Okay, what was it before that it, oh. I think I just heard thunder. I think we're getting a thunderstorm. I might have to turn my computer off so it doesn't get electric killed. Okay, so what it did, check this out. This is the drop shadow layer. If I move it around, this is the shadow that was an effect, but now it's its own layer. So what's cool about that, if I didn't want the shadow to come past this line, I wanted it to stop here, I could grab the layer above it, this purple rectangle layer. Okay. And if I come back to my shadow layer right here and I click on the mask button, it masks inside of that rectangle. So you can see it's going to be a hard line on the shadow. It's kind of tough to see right here, but there's a hard line where this mask is. Okay. But it cuts it. So it kind of looks like there's a shadow, almost like this little purple, like it adds some depth to it, but it doesn't come past this. If I shift click on the mask, you can see the shadow comes back like above the hoodie, like above the hood. If I want to soften that up a little bit, like let's say I don't want the shadow, I want the shadow just there. What's up, Georgia? Let's say I just want to soften up the shadow right here, but not have a hard edge. I can click right here on this mask. The family just got home, guys. Hence the chaos in the background. But we're going to keep going. Anyway, I can hit the letter G to get my gradient tool. Up here at the top in the options bar, you want to make sure you're using the foreground, whatever the foreground is. In this case, it's currently black, to transparent. So foreground to transparent gradient. This guy right here. Click OK. With the black in the front here, hit the letter D to reset your swatches, hit the letter X to swap it so black is in front. Now, if I use the linear gradient, check your options across the top, make sure you're using the linear gradient and that's not reversed up here. Click just below where that hard edge is, click down and drag, and it adds, and this is really, really tough to see on the stream, but basically it adds a super smooth gradient. Let me add a new layer. I'll throw it to the top, Declan's home. Now, if I were to use this gradient and were to draw with it, you see it fills it with the foreground color, which is black, and then fades subtly to transparent. So that's what I did. I made this subtle black gradient and did it on this mask to make the drop shadow smoother. Hope that makes sense. It's looking good. All right, let's save our work here. Oh man, program error. I wonder if my server's down. Should be fine. Let's try it again. There we go. So I just realized I've been streaming for a long time, which is, I love it. But the last couple times I've gone past an hour and a half, the stream, it's already getting a little glitchy on Behance right now. So I might cut this a lot shorter than I had intended to. I didn't make this nearly as far as I wanted to. But I'm going to shut the stream down, say hi to my family, maybe eat some dinner. And then either later tonight or tomorrow, we'll come back into this and we'll finish making this file that I'm going to give to you guys for your subscribers, for the subscribers to my Behance channel. you'll be able to have this file and edit it and have fun with it. So we'll come back to this. We're going to add some more cool stuff to it. Come back and grab all these different surfboard things. I have some ideas for that as well. And in fact, let me just drop a couple in here before I forget what I was doing. So what I'm going to do real quick, click on the artboard and just make this taller. Hit escape. All right, I'm gonna jump into Illustrator, and I just want to grab, just to get the idea of what I'm going for here. Grab this guy, copy it, throw it in here, scale it up, right click, convert to smart object, so it's just exactly the same size as the art. I just have an idea I don't want to forget before next time. I wish there was a way. There's probably a way, but I don't know it. I don't want to have to click on each one of these masks a million times. Ooh, that is thunder. That's close. I might need to go so I can shut everything down in case there's power outage. All right, so this is good enough for me to know what I was doing. Copy these weird shapes, come over to Photoshop, paste them in here, scale them up. That's kind of cool. Good enough. I'll know what I was doing. I'm going to save this. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to turn my server off and shut down my computer. All right. I couldn't save again. What the heck? I'll just save this to my desktop. And we will come back to this tonight when the storm passes and I can reset everything, or tomorrow. We'll see. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you later. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up, or subscribe, or tap the bell, or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend, or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.